ever been brutalized by police before?
God, not gonna make her
Have you?
Hey guys, welcome to our very first episode of Casual Education. I'm so excited to be here, and I know you are too. So in this podcast, we are going to empower you with the knowledge you should know about your rights. I know most of you don't know your rights. Me said I know small my rights, but I know we are going to teach you a lot, and you're going to learn a lot from us. I'm Rachel, your host, and with me here is
Damilola.
We often think law evolves around lawyers and courtrooms, but the truth is, law affects us every day of our lives. From the contracts we sign to our rights as humans on our everyday activities. Casual Legals introduced to you Education, your weekly dose of law in everyday life. Join us every Friday on YouTube as we explore the world of law together. See you there.
Today's topic, I'm going to talk about police brutality today. What an interesting way to start our education. Have you ever been brutalized by police before?
God, not gonna make her
Have you? Well, I've heard stories of police brutality. It's usually common in student-dominated areas. You hear cases of when you see young people just walking about who are properly dressed, and the police just comes around and harasses them, demanding money for them just because they look like they have the money, and they won't release them until they give them the money.
Especially this festive period. I think when most of them are like looking for money to feed their families and all, they tend to harass students and young people on the road with their dresses well.
Yeah, I don't know how they expect us to dress now. Maybe we should dress exactly. And people are even scared to come out.
True.
When they see them, they are only from them. I think that's just their way of extortion, trying to make extra money. I mean, we can't really say. But anyways, we have somebody that will come and dissect the topic for us. We break it down like this. Let us understand it. Let's know your rights versus the power of the police.
With us here on the show, we have a very special guest, a criminal litigation expert, a civil litigation expert. In fact, very very loads. I can't even talk about him. So with us here we have Barrister Timothy Adeyemi.
Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome, sir.
I'm happy to have you, sir. Okay, so let's start from the basics. On what rights, especially here in Nigeria, do the police have over the citizens?
I think number one, let me first open my cap. When you mention police, honestly, it's it can be funny that if you ask an average Nigerian, which organization, which government agency do you fear most? I am almost certain that 75% of them will mention the police, and it's just funny because this is supposed to be the closest agency to the people, an agency that they should be able to trust and all of that. In fact, you hear police is your friend, but the question is police truly your friend? Have you had the experience with the police before?
I haven't had a personal experience.
I know. I'm sure a lot of people have had experience with them. But before we go into all of that, to answer the question that Damilola asked, the law that established the police is the Police Act. It used to be Police Act 2004, but we now have a new one, Police Act 2020, and by Section 4 of that Police Act, it established the police and gave them certain powers to exercise, and the main thing is some of their powers. Number one, to prevent crime, to prevent crime. That means the sports situations where a crime is about to be committed, they find a way to prevent it. That's prevention. And sometimes when crime has been committed, their function is also to investigate that crime, to be able to know who exactly committed this crime, and then to be able to prosecute the person. They also have one of their major functions is actually to prevent the breakdown of law and order. Just imagine that a situation where there is no law or there is no agency of government to ensure breakdown, to ensure the prevention of breakdown of law and order. Everybody does whatever it does. You know, touts, they harass you on the road, nobody without any consequences and all of that. That's the essence of having the police, and that's what the law empowers them to do.
Concerning this police brutality and all, some of us, like me for instance, I won't lie, I don't know my rights over the police. If police should come and stop me now, I'll just slap him. Yeah, I'm totally joking. But what are like some of the rights we have that we can say, yes, this is my right? I can stand in front of the police and say, sir, this is my right over you. What are some of those rights?
All right. I know you are joking. Nobody should go and fight police. Under the powers of the police is actually subject to the Constitution of Nigeria. The Constitution is, we call it the ground norm. That is where every other law derives its own life and all. So the Constitution is where the rights of citizens is stated how. So it has overriding what we call effect on any other law. Now that does not mean that the rights of citizens is absolute. There are also limitations. Now, Section 35 of the Constitution talks about the right to personal liberty, and that means that you cannot be restrained, you cannot be arrested, except in certain situations. And those situations may include where you have committed a crime, or situations where there is you need to be brought before a court of law and all of that, or maybe there has been an order of court that you have failed to honor and all of that. So they can, the court can actually make an order that you should be arrested and all. In certain situations, it can even be for your own welfare or for your education, especially when you are not up to 18. You know, that can sound strange. Why am I being arrested for for my own? Actually, if you are less than 18 years and for your welfare and for your education, you can actually be arrested and all of that. And there are also few other situations where people can be arrested. But under the law, constitutionally, you have a right to personal liberty. And this common thing that the police do, where when they arrest young guys and all of that, begin to search their phone and all of that. Section 37 specifically prohibits anybody from interfering into your privacy. The Constitution guarantees your right to your privacy. All right. Of course, always know that every constitutional or fundamental human right also has limitation. We cannot, it's not absolute. There are situations where your privacy can be invaded, but then situations like that, sometimes the law will require that you have maybe a warrant to search your house or to search your gadgets and all of that. But on the surface, we cannot discuss everything in one sitting. But generally, you have a right to privacy, to your privacy. Your phone is your privacy. Your laptop, information you have on your laptop is your privacy. Your bank details, they are your privacy. Your home or whatever you hold as private to you, nobody has the right to infringe on all of that except in certain situations. So let's leave it at that for now.
I have a question.
Okay.
in a situation where I'm being confronted by the police and it's like, let me see your phone and all of that, what should I do at that particular time?
All right. Generally, when what you should do when you are confronted by the police, number one thing is stay calm. Don't never forget that. Stay calm. I have seen situations where the police, they are also psychologists, so to say. Sometimes people give themselves away to them. Sometimes when they see certain people, when they see your composure, you maintain your steeze and all of that. Sometimes they feel like, okay, who is this person and all. So the first rule is stay calm. If the police they ask you for anything, they confront you with anything, the first thing you should even ask for is number one, their identification. Especially when they don't have maybe tags. There are certain police, they don't have tags and all of that. You don't even know whether they are police or armed robbers.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a right to actually ask for their identification. Okay. May I know who you are? All right. And when they tell you they want to check your phone and all of that, tell them you have a right to your privacy. But please, let me also add this, because let me also add this, that while doing that, be as courteous as possible, be as civil as you can, but respectfully let them know that I have a right to my privacy. And one of the things from my experience with the police is, once they know you know your right, they have a way of stepping back. Sure. It's when they know that you don't know your right and all of that, that they try to harass you. I have had various experiences with them. One of such experience that I can actually remember, I was traveling, I went for a case in Akure, National Industrial Hall. On my way back, there was this guy, I think, was sitting beside me and all of that. When he saw the police afar off, just before we got there, he started fidgeting and all of that. So when the police stopped us, they said everybody should calm down and all of that. They didn't even have to do much. They knew something was up with him, psychology, common psychology. They knew something was up with him. So we all came down from the vehicle and all of that. So they said, everybody bring down your bag and all of that. So I just stood calmly, and one of them came to me and said, he knew that something is special about this guy. May I know you? And I said, I'm lawyer. Well, go into the vehicle. All of this. And once they know that you know your right, you are educated, at least, even if you don't know all or maybe the specific provision of the law, but you know the basic rights you have under the law. Police also have a way of stepping back and all of that. Of course, that's not the right of. There are certain ones that can go overboard. Some of them even drunk sometimes, But generally speaking, when they confront you, in a civilized way, in a very calm way, let them know, it's my privacy. Except you have a warrant, you can request. You have a right under the law to request. If there is a warrant to search, of course, I will gladly give that to you. Let's not forget that the issue of harassment is not just about when you are stopped on the road. There are situations where they invite you, even to the police, or they invite you to the station to have discussion or anything. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right not to make any statement without the presence of your lawyer. Even if your lawyer, if you decide not to make a statement, you have the right under the law. That's part of what I call.
Okay, so let's get practical with this. There's an instance where someone gets harassed by the police. At that moment, what can they do? Is there anything they can do then?
All right. Like I said earlier, the first thing I want anybody to do when you are relating with the police, when you are being harassed and all, is stay as calm as possible. I've seen situations where people actually want to box with them and all of that. I'm not going to advise such situations, because even if you are innocent of any other thing. Now they have something
Yeah,
they can
true. Yeah.
hold you with. So stay as calm as possible. Then number two is you have the right to remain silent, not to talk to them, not to say anything that can implicate you. I'm sure even if you don't know, you are not saying in real life, you would have had in maybe Nollywood. I will tell you, you have been arrested, you have the right to remain silent. Whatever you say will be used against you. That's true. Whatever you say to the police can be used, if not twisted, you can even use it against your hand. So you have the right to actually remain silent. And if you can, call your lawyer immediately or call a very trusted relation to let them know your whereabouts. Because we have had situations where police arrest people and then they disappear. So the best thing is let somebody know where you are or where they are taking you and all of that. Then, like I said, that's why everybody should have a lawyer. Call your lawyer immediately. Oh, see, there is a situation. What should I do? Or this is where I'm being taken. Your lawyer can come over to wherever you are. And if you can, in fact, I'm going to advise that if you can make a record of every step of whatever is happening, you can discreetly, of course, discreetly, if you can discreetly record, please do. Because we have seen situations where that's the saving grace for some people.
Yeah.
The fact that they have that recording. Police can be funny. Police can be funny. You have seen situations where people are walking on the road wanting to go and buy bread and a car. They carried them, packed all of them, and some of them are in prison now, awaiting trial. We have had a lot of so if you can make a recording, if it is possible, make a recording. If you cannot make a recording, if you can find a way to maybe document the steps, the happenings,
But
and
like
all of
be
that.
on a safer side, voice recording, right?
If you can, yes, of course, whether voice recording or video recording, that one you have to be as smart as possible to be able to do that. And then one other thing is when situations like that happen, maybe during that time, a relative can do it, or maybe after you have been released and all, you can call the police response unit where you can make, is it response unit or complaint unit? I know they put out their phone numbers. Maybe in this podcast, we are going to find a place to put the numbers where you can call them to lay complaints. Most of these people, in fact, we see situations, or even recently I saw is a memo, we are going to call it now, from the IG's office, that even police officers are using the name of the IG to perpetrate all manners of people. Even the IG is now under certain pressures. So it's a menace, honestly. It's a menace that even the IG is finding way to correct, to do all of that. They sent out a message recently with phone numbers that you can call in situations where situations like that are right. So everybody should have that number on their phone anytime, and also have your lawyer's number, and also ensure that at least somebody knows where you are going. Let somebody know wherever you are going. Have a trusted person you can inform about where you are.
Okay, but I'm curious. When the police does mention us about they harass someone, take them to the station, they are there in prison. What is there any repercussion to the police for this action? Does the government do anything to them?
Well, presently, unfortunately, that's one of the things that some of us have advocated for, that there should be some level of compensation for those people and all. But the reality is that most of these people, imagine that, how do you even quantify the kind of compensation you pay for somebody who has spent 10 years in prison awaiting trial, or maybe has even been tried and then they discover that The trial it should not have been prosecuted. So his productive life he has spent in prison and all of that. How do you even quantify the kind of compensation you pay to those people and all of that? And more so, they are not, most that I know of, are not being compensated at all. In situations where there are even unlawful arrests and all of that, you have the right to actually sue the police. Your fundamental human right, you can sue them for damages and all of that. But if the law requires that everybody that is arrested should be brought before a court within 24 hours, or in maybe special circumstances within 48 hours. So that person has to be brought to court. If the person is not brought to court, is kept in the prison or is kept in the police cell and all that, you can file for fundamental enforcement to either, if you want to prosecute, if you don't want to prosecute, release this person to go. But we have the other part that you mentioned is situations where they have been brought to court and the court maybe remands them. Say, okay, go and keep him in remand pending trial. And then we now start waiting for DPP's advice. That's what we call it. They say they are waiting for DPP to now give advice as okay, you can proceed with it. These are some of the issues some of us have about our judicial system. We still have that because in advanced world, you don't even talk about prosecution if you have not done investigation. You don't talk about we want to prosecute this person and you have not even had your facts. Now, in Nigeria, it's like the other way around. You just carry anybody, bring them before the court, and then now go back to do investigation and all of that. Those are some of the issues we still have currently, and we are just hoping. I think things are getting better with the introduction of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. Now things seem to be getting better. It's not perfect yet. We're seeing it seems to be getting better. If somebody is arrested now, you have the right for your lawyer to be present when you are being asked questions, when you are being interrogated, to ensure that people are not being brutalized, they are not tortured, to give answers. When people are tortured, what you did not do, you are going to tell the world that you did it and all of that. So with the introduction of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, things are beginning to take shape. It's not going to happen in one day. We believe that things will get better. And I must also add that most of these police who involved in this brutality and all, they are not actually representing the police as an institution. Most of them act out of their own volition. I know that at least from media communication and all of that the police are trying to also purge, to also do some purging and all of that. So let's also give them that benefit of that things are going to really get better.
If you don't learn anything from this, go and get a lawyer. Go and get a lawyer.
And maintain your steez.
Yes, maintain your steez.
Wow, what a wonderful conversation we have today. I'm sure you've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I didn't know what this before. I've learned a lot. I'm sure Rachel has learned.
I have.
Thank you so much, Barrister, for this. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Don't forget, as we are bringing you this gay gist, as you are learning like this, and you do not subscribe, it's not good. So go and subscribe.
Yes.
Like, share, comment, everything. Let everybody see, let everybody be alright. Let the police know that we are here too. We know what to do here. So we see you next time on our next episode. Stay tuned. Bye.